Um, okay. Hmm. Rotate your device. All right, fine. Okay, here we go. So, I'm in Chicago right now. It's cold as hell. But the lighting is real good right now outside, so that's why I'm out here. So I've been tagged and messaged a lot about Denai's last season. So apparently, though her representatives haven't said anything, uh, her last season will be season 10 with a handful of episodes interspersed throughout. Um, I'm not entirely worried about this. I mean, in terms of the show, that really sucks because I mean, without the Grimes family story, like, what am I doing? My whole purpose was watching the show from the jump has always been Rick, and Rick's gone, and now they're taking his woman too. Hey, Anne. Um, I I think that that will give her elbow room to be in the film. So I'm guessing that the first film is going to be all about Rick, and whether he's amnesiac or not, or whatever the hell's going on with him. We're going to get the lowdown on that for the last 6 years, and then at the end of that movie, we'll be introduced to Rick trying to make moves to get back home or someplace else. He had come across a number of people, hopefully Morgan included, but more importantly, since Michonne, or Denai rather, will be leaving the actual series, hopefully it'll be his family, and the remaining two films can be about them. What I hope to gain for this more than anything is the Grimes family reunion. I don't know. I mean, that should be the high point. If it's not a cure, which like I don't even care about that. I just want the happiness of Rick Grimes and Michonne, and for him to see his son, and for none of them to die. I think it's unfortunate in regards to the show because you lose Carl and then you lose Rick technically, and now Michonne's going too, and it's a lot. It's a lot within what 2-3 year period. Like each year is another. It's a blow. It's a blow. It's a blow. I don't think it's necessarily good, but I don't think it's necessarily uh, a, a a death nail for the series itself. Provided that the films are successful. Thank you, Anne. Um, I think there's still a future for this franchise, and I know a lot of people are. There's been a lot of grave concerns, understandably so. You're taking out a lot of the key players, and what's left is you have Daryl, you have Carol, two of the original Atlanta Five folks, and that's great. But it's still all about, for me in my mind, it's still all about Rick, and I can't get over that. I don't see how I possibly could. So we'll see how season 10 plans out. But my extreme hope is that they bring her on for 2 out of the 3 films after they get the first one going to give backstory on Rick's last 6 years. That's my hope. That's my sincere hope for what's happening in this universe. Um, in addition to seeing, some of the characters move around with fear and whatnot, Rick coming across them and whatever, who knows? It's a lot of directions they could potentially go in. Um, in addition to that, I heard, and this video has since been pulled, and there's been other videos as well. I haven't actually had time to watch them, but I've heard that a lot of people are trying to give Denai, crap, for wanting her money. And it's like her stock has gone exponentially. I don't care what you thought about Black Panther. I don't care if you thought it was deserving or not. The fact of the matter is that she's the biggest star on that show. And a while back, there was even rumblings of Okoye either getting her own film or a spin-off series or something. I don't know. But, listen, she's making moves. She's making money moves. And, if they don't want to give her the money that she feels she deserves, that's going to be their loss, ultimately. It's not going to be... That's just what it is. It's not going to be hers. Nina's in the MCU now. She ain't going nowhere. And AMC, I think at this point, executives need to weigh, do they want to keep the show going and give up, you know, you got to make an investment. In order to give money, you got to spend money. You got to make an investment. And I don't know that they've made the proper investments with her. I want it all to end with the Grimes together, not just Judy left with Daryl. Judith with Daryl. Okay. That would be real messed up. Judith belongs with her parents, her mother and her father, and not necessarily Uncle Daryl. Frankly, I wouldn't mind seeing Daryl too being with the films, because even though he's been problematic and he's worked my nerves, that's still Rick's brother, you know? So I wouldn't mind, like, I would love a whole family reunion, frankly. But I don't think Daryl can carry it. Just him on his own. Only thing I think could work with a solo Daryl thing is if they did some sort of flashback film with him and Merle before they hooked up with the group or something. I'd love to see something like that. I don't know if they plan on doing that, but if there was ever to be a Daryl film, that's it. Him being, you know, grizzly man in the woods alone, I don't care about that. I'm sorry. Brandon's watching. It's asking if I want to bring him on camera. I don't know what he's doing right now, so I'm not going to do that. We'll be reunited the middle of next week, so we'll be watching the episode after the premiere next week. I thought she was locked in for 3 seasons, but that's just Norman and Meredith? Who's Meredith? Norman and Melissa have definitely locked down their contracts. They're solid, they're rock solid to not only the show, but to move around back and forth in the series. Thank you, Sarah. Right. There was also rumblings of a Maggie potential spinoff. I guess that depends on how well Whiskey Cavalier does or not. And I love Lauren. I actually hope Whiskey Cavalier is very successful. There's something happened with Maggie's story along the way that made me not care about it. Care about her, rather. I don't know. Maggie, the last few seasons, it's just kind of blah for me. I'm not speaking for anybody but myself, obviously. I think Glenn's storyline would have been a lot better than Maggie's if they had kept him as opposed to her back in beginning of season 7. Happened with Judith and RJ. If Judith and RJ don't go with their mom, I'm gonna be pissed off. Like, those are her kids. She's not leaving them behind. She would never do that. I would never believe that. Like, unless someone knocks over the head and kidnaps her, and even then, her number one mission would be go and find those kids, even before Rick, because they're children. They're her children. Yeah, agreed, Randy. I like Lauren, not Maggie. I can't imagine them. I haven't heard anything about them attempting to split up Judith and RJ from Michonne, but if so, that's just such an awful idea. Starting to lose the feeling in my fingers right about now, so I'm probably gonna wrap this up real soon. I don't know what the future holds. I know what they could do to make it work. I don't know if that's what they will do. I have no insider info whatsoever. I wish I did. I really wish I did, but. So this isn't Michonne's last season, just for clarification. She will be in season 10. How much, I think, remains to be seen. Her representatives have said nothing. I read Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, a couple other outlets. I trust Variety over anyone else. But hopefully this ends with Michonne being part of the Rick films, which would make the most sense. Because without them be reuniting, like, what has literally been the point of all this? Like, my God. Anyway, I believe Brandy will be doing a live reaction for Facebook on Sunday. I'm going to attempt to do one for YouTube. We've been MIA a lot, and apologies to that, but there's been a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts. Anyway, love you guys. Thanks so much. And if anybody has any other intel, hit us up, drop a message, drop a comment, and talk to you soon.